Hello, testing. Hello, testing. Right. Welcome to my weekly Friday stream. Yes, let's have a look at the charts. Let's go straight into the charts. If you don't know who I am, I'm a crypto enthusiast. I do this for a hobby. None of this is financial advice. Entertainment value only. So I look at the Bitcoin every week, and I look at a couple of other altcoins. Sometimes I take requests. Usually I don't, because it takes a lot of time. So I was looking at Bitcoin last week. And if you don't know, you can have a look on my YouTube channel. Let's go and have a look now. And basically the last couple of weeks, few weeks, I've been looking at this range that we've been forming. And then last week, it had dropped, and then the week before I was looking for another drop, wasn't I? So let's go. This is kind of the tipping point. You can go to my videos, you can have a look at what I was contemplating. And then I was looking for much lower, and then I was kind of having a look at this Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So what's interesting is that it's dropped, and then it's dropped. So it's kind of done what I was imagining. It really had to hold these highs to continue. And because it didn't, what you'll notice is when you look at the price action, you'll notice as soon as it lost the high, closed lower, bam, sell, sell. Lost this trend line, which I had drawn, couldn't get back above, sell, sell, like more selling, sell, sell. And what I've been also doing is in my Discord, if you have a look, if it loads, that I've been posting some of the bearish CVD that's been forming, looking at the order flow and telling people, hey mate, this is bearish. And so again, you're welcome to join my Discord. It's free. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes I post stuff which is relevant. And so when I posted this, Bitcoin was trading at around $88,000. Posted this one, it was at $89,000. See that? And look at the price now. It went all the way down to 81, just shy under $81,000. So what's happening? Let's have a look at the charts. What I'm going to do is just kind of hide these for a second. I'm going to have a look at the volume. That's what I do every time I check the volume. I compare it to the previous volume. Let me have a look at the volume. Where are you, volume? There it is. Just update the volume levels. You can see that the value area low has dropped a little bit. Point of control is still where it is. Value area high has fallen a little bit too. So the value area is slightly shifted lower. And we're kind of underneath this value area now, aren't we? Look at that. So clearly what needs to happen is we need to reclaim the value area. It's really important. If you can't reclaim the value area, then the whole value area becomes resistance. So that's kind of where we're at now. And let me just update this local volume range. See if there's any changes there. Yep, kind of lost that as well. That kind of the low of that volume range lies at the same level as the value area low of this higher range. Get rid of that. I'll have a look at the levels. Weekly level. This one is gone. Can ignore that one now. Kind of we lost all those levels. We're kind of underneath this wash monthly level now. It'd be interesting to see where the monthly close is. Let's have a look at the daily levels. This one is now there. Get rid of this one. And that one. Kind of smash through that one. So we've kind of lost all our levels now. We have one level there to reclaim on the daily level for a sign of strength. Okay, and then we have these lower levels. Let's have a look at those. These two here. I can update the single prints in a second. Let's have a look at the NPOCs. Where are they? We've just hit these two NPOCs now. Cleared these. Hit these two now, so they're cleared. Wash them, so it's pretty bearish, right? This move. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the order flow. I can see there's some bearish divergences forming still. CVD's going up, price isn't putting higher highs, CVD's putting higher highs. So we're still getting bearish order flow here. That means you should not long, not when there's bearish order flow. You should be patient. Let's have a look at see if there's any new NPOCs. Yeah, there's a few here. This is the daily chart. Mark them. I'm going to mark them. $88,160, $89,280. $9,0800. These higher ones, $95,100. $96,180. Let's have a look at the weekly ones. Got a couple there. 88. So let me just. $887.02. 90820. I don't think we need to check the monthly. And if the monthly closes the way it is, which it probably will, we'll probably have two there. So let's just mark those just to make sure. $88730. 343. Okay. Can mark those now. So let me pull that back in. Let's go to the dailies. One. Eight nine two 80 90800 95100 61. I think I've got that one. Yep. The weekly we've got 88702 90820 The monthly we have 88730 914 91343. Right, so there's our naked points of control. We've got the only other thing I want to have a look at is the single prints. So look at that. Just refresh this page. Quite a lot of single prints on the way up. Eight 5 4 6 3 2 8 7 5 3. Yep. Let me go back. Yep. There. 9 1 3 1 8 2 9 2 4 1. And that's it. It's cleared. 91318 to 92141. There's some higher up, but I'm not going to go back there. We'll remove these for now. Actually, maybe they're still there. Yeah, they're still there because we didn't get back into them. And then slightly lower down, 85463 to 875. Right. So we have everything now. We have our single prints, we've got the volume, we've got our levels, we've got the MPOX. Perfect. So now we've got all of that data up to date. Let's have a look. Let's put it all back in. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of liquidity above us. We didn't already know that. You can see all these lines, liquidity levels. We're coming into kind of a bit of an empty space right now. And then we have some daily levels, weekly, naked daily, MPOC, naked weekly MPOC. It's kind of not really at the same area. Let me have a look at these higher time frame fibs. We've got some big fibs. So not really crazy confluence apart from all the way down here. And I think what I was saying last week, I'm just going to bring it up again. I was talking about this Wyckoff accumulation. Now, I've been looking at X and I've been seeing some interesting stories. So that you're going to get two stories on X. You're going to get the good, the bad, sometimes the ugly, but usually it's either good or bad, depending on your bias. And I'm going to go into my bookmarks because I bookmark them. So you got this is the good if you're bullish. Someone thinks it's going to take out this low and we're going to go for all-time highs. Someone thinks we're going to go much lower, but still accumulate and go up. So we've got some, this one is more aggressively bullish. This one is bullish, but it means it's going much lower. And this is quite interesting. This guy is bearish. He thinks that as we cross this big red line, which is the midpoint on the monthly dollar index, BTC to dollar index, then the price goes all the way down to the lower part of the Bollinger Band, or as close as possible before it kind of returns. So this is the bad, the good, the bad. Is there an ugly? And this is the ugly. So you've got some guy talking about a manipulated Wyckoff. I'm not sure about this, to be honest with you. It looks like it could be. If this was, the thing is, in Wyckoff you have an ST in phase B and that takes out the low. So it's not really Wyckoff, is it? Because it hasn't done that. Who knows? Like, no one really knows. And we're going down for a spring, and this is the final spring, and basically what he's suggesting is that we've already done the ST in phase B, which is here. He's seen that was the ST in phase B. Where are those images again? Bring them right across. Where are they? I have to make them smaller, don't I? So I've been talking about the Wyckoff for a few weeks now, maybe longer. And he's saying that that was the ST and phase B. I mean, the Wyckoff is Wyckoff, and both the schematics have an ST and phase B taking out the low. And therefore, it makes you wonder if there is some kind of manipulated Wyckoff going on, if that was the low and we've gone up to there, but then that doesn't take the high. So I'm not convinced. When I look at his chart, this point doesn't take the top of that point. So I don't know. I think he's kind of making it up. Who knows? I'm not convinced. I think it's more likely or more possible, and I could be wrong. Everyone can be wrong. It's more likely or more possible that we're going down for an ST in phase B now. And we've done the PS. So let me just kind of draw it out. I don't know. I mean, no one really knows, right? I'm going to mark it out. PS. It kind of makes more sense because if you look at the schematics, the second high comes to touch the PS there, doesn't it? And it did do that, didn't it? So effectively, you've got the PS, SC, AR, ST. Goes and takes out the AR, comes to touch the PS, and now we're going for the ST in phase B, which would be here. So if you're in both of these schematics, the ST in phase B is a liquidity grab of the SC. We're not there yet. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. Yeah. And we don't know how low it's going to go. If this is going to play out. Because it could go low and then come right back up. We don't know how low it's going to go. And then we have a 5-wave rally. And then we have two possible schematics. We've got one after the 5-wave rally. We have an reaccumulation, which puts in another low for a spring, or we have a reaccumulation which puts in a higher low. Yeah. And effectively, one loses the support lines and one doesn't. And there's quite a prolonged down period after we put in a high there. Now, based on the timings, when I'm looking at the schematics, it takes as much time to hit the high as it did to put in this range. Didn't it? So we've kind of 141 bars. That will take us to April. That will take us basically to the end of March, beginning of April. Effectively, what you're looking at is a drop, 5-wave move without taking the high out. And effectively, you're coming up to the top of the AR, landing us at the end of March, beginning of April, roughly. So somehow we do this. Go on like that. maybe for another 141 bars, whatever. To the end of May, beginning of June. Before we actually go up. So the question is, do we put an ST in phase B now? That's the question. And I think the only way we'll know is if we have a real nice liquidity grab from this pivot low, or if we lose the low. So based on the Wyckoff idea, which I've been talking about for weeks now, assuming this guy is not correct, like, I mean, I don't really know about this. He believes it. He's very bullish, so he thinks we're going to go to the moon. I'm inclined to think that if it's a Wyckoff, it should follow correctly. And if it doesn't, then it's something else. And if it's something else, then we'll just treat it as something else. And so the key factor here is a nice liquidity grab of that pivot low. And we're not there yet. Almost, but not there. And let me just have a look at my previous analyses. It's much lower. That was the short. FPS, yeah, I've already had that. See that? Bam, bam, bam. It's previous all-time high. Bull market channels. All right, so this is quite an interesting one, these bull market channels. Let's have a look at them. Let's get rid of these timings. Oh, I've got some timings here. Hide it. We're kind of coming into this on the log scale, this trend line, but then slightly further down, much further down, you'll be taking this low out to back test the previous all-time high. I've got that marked out as well somewhere. And I think this is the question, because if we do not put an ST in phase B now, which is basically a swing failure of this level, and you have to treat it like a swing failure, and traders will take the swing failure and then take their profit. A key to knowing if this is going to be ST in phase B is a sign of strength followed by a swing failure. So a sign of strength would be a reclaim of a level. And so if we bring our levels back, we've got this monthly level that we're at now. And effectively what you want to see is to take out that level, however low it goes, and then to reclaim. We need a reclaim. So we need to flip that level back into support. Once you get that, then it's probably an ST in phase B and we're going up. Okay. Until you get a sign of strength, it could always swing failure and keep on going. Yeah. You just don't know. Okay. So you want to see a sign of strength following a swing failure. Then we're going to be thinking, okay, this could be an ST in phase B. That's probably the closest level that needs to be reclaimed, actually, that washed monthly level. And once we see that, you'll have a nice long trade. And then obviously, just traders will take the swing failure. It will look really bearish when you have a swing failure, but this is the pivot. It will feel really bearish, but then it will go up. So that's kind of where we're at. So it's basically back at the same idea of a swing failure. With a really tight profit take. And then potentially a swing long. If that pivot holds. And if it is an ST in phase B, you're going all the way up to there, effectively, up to there. Like a 1 to 6, what is that? A 1 to 22 trade. Just on a swing failure. If that is the ST in phase B, depending on your stop loss, depending on how wide that is. And a confirmation will be a reclaim. And that will be a very nice position to be in. If you don't get a reclaim, you just get a rejection. Then it will just be a long that failed, took profit, and then it just went lower. And if it goes for lower, then you're basically looking for lower prices. And it'd be hard to long until the price finds support. And you're basically looking for kind of somewhere here, somewhere around 76, 77k. That's the base kind of area of Confluence, and it's quite a wide area. Whatever. And that would be a liquidity grab. No, it wouldn't be. It would still be a high low of this pivot low. So you're not looking for a liquidity grab of these lows. You're looking for a higher low. Again, you're looking for a sign of strength for confirmation, and that would be a reclaim. Reclaim after a drop. If you lose that first swing failure, then you're looking for a reclaim. In this context, you're looking for a reclaim of that weekly level. And then that's your reclaim. You can wait for the reclaim, or that would be what you're looking for, a reclaim of a level, a lost level. All right, so these are kind of two long ideas in the near future, potentially. So I'll mark those up. And if we do get a nice ST in phase B, then you're looking for a nice strong 5-wave move, taking us all the way up to there. And then that will be shorting area. It'll be a place to short, effectively. But it will take a bit of time, and we'll probably be looking at that next week if that happens. All right. So that's kind of my Bitcoin analysis for this week, and let's see what happens at that swing failure. Let's see what happens there. There's a lot of things going on geopolitically, and I think that's what's kind of shaking the markets as well. People haven't been following, then it's basically America and moving their military assets around, rumors of war, stuff like that, and we have to see what happens. Yeah, because usually when that happens, it's a good time to buy. Yeah, when suddenly there's a war, and that's in that situation, it's possible that this does go much further, and we do get a much bigger dip, and that will probably be the dip. And so when I look at these higher time frame channels, if we're not looking at an ST and phase B, if we are looking to take out this low, then you could be coming to backtest the previous all-time high, and that will be the dip. It's always a good place to buy the previous all-time high on the backtest, so it's always good to have that level on your chart. Always good. Let me just bring it back up again. These are always good levels, yeah. Previous all-time backtest, another backtest of the previous all-time highs. There's two. There's one from the previous bull market and the previous all-time high from this recent bull market. That maybe we just go back and test that at 74k. But usually when you do get a drop, some aggressive selling, it could always go through it. And then when I'm looking at this higher time frame midpoint on this white channel, you see there's a bit of confluence where you've got this midpoint as well. So if there's no ST in phase B and we're pushing down, then actually, and we do put in a lower low, then we're looking actually potentially for a swing failure of that low, just for another nice back test of the previous all-time low. So that would be even lower, wouldn't it? Rather than putting in a higher low, putting in a lower low, but it's coming to really nice areas of confluence for picking up Bitcoin around 72, 73k. All right, that is kind of where we're at now. When I look at dominance chart, kind of going sideways. The altcoins aren't bleeding, they're not dropping, and so that's good news. That kind of gives me confidence that we are finding the lows on Bitcoin. We are finding the lows. Usually when we're not finding the lows, you're going to get big bleeds back into the altcoins and dominance goes up. But because we're going to go in sideways, it's still looking quite bearish, then I have my intuition, my gut, whatever, tells me actually this is a good sign that we are actually forming lows across the board. All right, so that's my Bitcoin update. Thanks for watching. I'm going to cut it into a separate video. If you like it, please share, like it, at least like my YouTube. That would be much appreciated. That would help me grow my YouTube channel. Much appreciated. All right, let me move on. So I'm going to be looking at QANX and the QANPlatform. If you don't know me, my name is Amir. I'm not affiliated or associated with this coin. I'm just an enthusiast. Everything is entertainment value. Nothing is financial advice. And if you like this video, I appreciate that you'd like, share it. At least like it on YouTube. That'd be much appreciated, and that'd be very kind of you. So, I mean, I'm just looking at the previous week's analysis, and so I do like the price action here. I know we have a big resistance level at around 2 cents. A lot of altcoins have been dropping, and QANX has kind of been going sideways, hasn't it? Interestingly. So I think that's a good sign. We didn't get that crazy pump to go whatever, so forget about that. Is this extended flat still in play? Yep. Is it going to go all the way down to here to September? Who knows? No one really knows. Yeah, You know, this could be whatever, really. But some key points to note. It's really important. We need to get back above 2 cents. That's really important. We need volume, which we're not getting. A little bit of increased volume here, but we're not, on the whole scale, we're not getting crazy increase in volume. But you can see that there's a little bit of volume increase here now. So that's a good sign. Volume is good. Let me pull the volume across the board. We're still in the value area. We're still in the volume range. And we haven't touched the value area low yet. I do wonder if we do touch the value area low. And the next long opportunity is to take out these lows along with Bitcoin. I do wonder. Yeah, so we're kind of in a little bit of an accumulation range here. Right now it's showing quite good strength. You can see that because we're above this local range point of control. As long as we don't lose the range, we probably won't take the lows, but I wonder if we do just go and take those lows once more and then pump. I think we're seeing some accumulation here, actually. Just looking at the volume, I can see here. You see the volume is slightly gone up, like that. Getting a bit of volume increase here. That's a good sign. That's kind of what we want to see. Kind of like here, we were getting some increase in volume and then the price jumped up. So we are getting a little bit of accumulation here, and the rest of crypto has been bleeding, and actually QANX has been doing quite well. It's been within a relatively tight range, kind of going sideways. I think a lot of the weekends have been shook, and now a lot of QANX enthusiasts have seen this opportunity to pick up some more. Doesn't mean we're not going to go lower. I do wonder if we do go and just tap that value area low and take out these lows. That's what I'm wondering, just to kind of come back to tap this top of that candle, just to kind of clean this chart, clean this crazy gap, and then we have a chance to go bam, rocket type thing. That's what's on my mind at the moment. I think if that does happen, even though 2 cents will be, I mean, you're looking for a sign of strength to know that this is now changed direction. See, right now we're kind of at these lows, kind of where we are at the moment. If we do go down, then you kind of want to reclaim where we are at the moment as support, like 1.8 rather than 2. That's kind of how you know. If we do go down and then reclaim it, then that's a good sign. Just because it's this previous pivot here, area here. So even though I've got 2 cents as a kind of a resistance area, which it is, if we drop, and that's your resistance area there, if you drop just to take out those lows, then it'd be a nice opportunity to take out those lows and buy. But it'll also be nice to see after a drop for the price to kind of go up and reclaim 1.8 first. Once you get a nice reclaim of 1.8, then that's going to look good, isn't it? It's going to look okay. It's going to look quite strong still. So I think I don't see weakness just yet. I see it just accumulation at these levels, filling this gap, this kind of big gap area here, before we kind of ascend with Bitcoin. Whatever happens though, you have to be careful because you have this crazy point of control, there's as 2.5 cents in the way, 2.5, 2.6 cents in the way. That will offer resistance, you know. So does this mean we're going to go to the moon? Who knows? But if we do get a nice move, it could just be up to there. Which would still be good because we've broken through some resistance levels. But at the same time, whatever happens, we're going to have to get back above the point of control and flip it. Now in the past, but this in the past, the point of control may have been different, but you see in the past, it's just smashed through it. And so it doesn't always respect the point of control. But often when the price does go up, you see it was at the point of control for a while, kind of in this little area here. And the price isn't just going to go up like that. Usually what happens is it'll kind of go up there and spend a bit of time there before it figures out what it does, just because it was there for a bit of time. So I wonder if we do take out that low and then rally. And if we don't rally in 5 waves to the point of control, you could just rally in 1 wave. Let's just say 1 wave into point of control. And then we have to see what happens. Do we flip this 2 cents back into support and go higher, or that'll be nice. Who knows? No one really knows. But I do think we're kind of coming into areas now where people are kind of finding the fortitude, the courage to accumulate more. And usually the rallies are really up in a straight line, maybe because the liquidity is so low. But this might be slightly different just because we have a strong point of control in the way. And if people are underwater, which based on the charts, a lot of people are underwater because the point of control is at 2.5, then they might just look to kind of break even or kind of sell a little bit at 2.5 rather than wait. Yeah, I talked last week about AI predicting the QANX platform, the mainnet coming in mid-year, didn't I? My last week's stream. So maybe some people have kind of have that on their mind and they're thinking, okay, I can be patient. I don't have to kind of go all in now. Have a look at the QANPlatform X page. Just some news about the US Cybersecurity Agency making an announcement that it confirms that blockchains have been ignoring that today's signatures won't survive post-quantum era. So it's a bit of a thread there. So does that mean that QANX is going to go to the moon? Not necessarily. I mean, it could put pressure on the layer ones to update their security. Timeline risks. Let's have a look at that. Attackers can record encrypted blockchain transactions today and crack them once quantum computers arrive. So they've already said estimated 2030. So I don't know what you call that, except quite far in the future. It's a good 4 years away, huh? Yeah. So here, Bitcoin's post-quantum migration clock has started. I suppose Bitcoin are going to fork in the road and they're going to deprecate the legacy wallets, I guess, which will probably be really bullish for Bitcoin, because then it means the Satoshi wallet will always be inaccessible then. It's like permanent burn of all the legacy wallets. I guess that'd be really bullish for Bitcoin if they did that. If they forked Bitcoin and made it quantum resistant, or quantum safe, so to speak, and then deprecated all the legacy wallets. So, you know, it's like a tale of two coins in some ways. Anyway, forget about the future for now. The reality is that the mainnet hasn't been launched, and I think that's what people are waiting for. Until then, this is just the whole thing is one big massive accumulation range, and we are coming to the lows, and so that means you can pick up some for the long term. That's what it means, isn't it? Let me just get rid of all these brush strokes. Let me see what else I was looking at here in the past. Oh, I had that there. Look, final drop and then explosion. Well, I kind of said maybe, who knows. So I kind of had that there already, didn't I? This bearish cipher. Let's have a look at this. If we do get a final drop, it could still work. I've got some timings there. How did I do the timings? I don't remember. Do it again. Gee. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. Look at that. The 1-to-1 is soon. Beginning in February, yeah? The 1-to-1 of this ABCD is there. Who knows about the Wyckoff? Not the Wyckoff, the expanded flat. But do I have a diagram of this cipher? I should. I don't know where it is. Even if it's not a cipher, forget the cipher for a second. It's still an ABCD pattern, which is like that. See that? And you know, with these types of patterns, your target is golden pocket, realistically, which is just these highs, which is at around 4 cents. It's like your target. 50 fib, golden pocket. 50 fib, golden pocket really. So even if there's no cipher in play, you do get a drop and then explosion and then explosion. It's kind of where it's that area, isn't it? So we're past this. Let's get rid of that. We have this hour trend line that will probably, depending on how we approach it, if we go up quite fast, that will probably hold. We go up quite fast into that trend line. And we do get a drop and explode. But we are coming into a 1-to-1 of this ABCD pattern. Beginning of next week, bam. Then we get up to the point of control and up to the golden pocket, which is good. That's basically range bound behavior, isn't it, on a higher time frame. Hold on a second, just have to answer this. All right, so that's kind of QANPlatform. I don't really have anything else to say. Oh yeah, I wanted to have a look at this. No real changes there. Let's see what happens. Maybe just one more drop. Take out these lows. Yeah. That's QANX. I don't know if that helps, but if it did, then appreciate a like on the video. There is a quant platform, Telegram, where people talk about the charts and stuff. It's called the QANPlatform, QANX Trading Unofficial, 1,000 members. So you can come in there and chat. I don't really chat much. I do read it. That's where I post my link. So I expect 1,000 people to subscribe to my YouTube and give me some love. These are all, everyone here is future millionaire apart from the people who are bearish. You are not. So it's good to have friends of future millionaires. This is the final piece of the puzzle before mainnet. Could well mark the start of the marketing hype and run up to the main we have all been hoping for. What is he talking about? No way they don't hype this up more, in my opinion. Testnet. Where did we get the end of January from? Is this a speculation? So just chat, just chit chat. But it's good because it's kind of pretty relaxed chit chat, and you can talk about the charts if you want. You could look QANPlatform official, and that's just the official channel. Let's have a look at that. Here you can interact with the admins, the moderators. So that's kind of QANPlatform, right? So until next week, I hope you have a good weekend. All right, I'm gonna have a look at the next chart. Really quick stream today, isn't it? Let's have a look at the next chart. Sorry, got stuck in my thoughts. So I'm gonna have a look at TRVL and DTravel. People are like wondering, Amir, you are crazy. Why do you keep on talking about DTravel? What's going on? Why do you keep on putting really bullish thumbnails? TRVL, large levels of accumulation. Am I just making this up? Am I manipulating the market? Oh my gosh. Give me a second. Hold on a second. We'll get to it. I just have to respond to this message. Right. Am I manipulating the market? What do I know? Who knows anything? No one really knows what's going on. Why are you so bullish? Why do you wear a DTravel cap? What do I know that you don't? Lots of questions. Well, most of the time we can either be either right or wrong. Yeah, so at least I'm 50% right and 50% wrong. You can't be 50% wrong all the time. Eventually you're going to be right. If you go to a casino and you play red on the roulette wheel, you're going to get red eventually. The question is, do you go bankrupt before you get your winning number? Then you need a strategy to win. Yeah, so ultimately when it comes to these ultra micro cap mini tokens, it's about the strategy of accumulation rather than anything else. You look at, when I look at the DTravel page, I see the market cap is at a measly $676,000 with the fully diluted market cap at 1.4 million. It's peanuts. It's like anyone in London could sell their property and buy all the tokens effectively, can't they? Or two properties, one or two, but depends on where the property is. It's a really, really undervalued project. Yeah, for a token that's been trading for over 4 years, and for a project that has a track record, a real world network. And this is the hardest part. I don't think people realize that. To build a real world network of properties connected in 145 countries across 1,342 cities, over 6,000 listings, over 11,000 operator signups, with a gross turnover of $1.5 million, average booking value of $800+, with a month-on-month growth. It's a really undervalued project, isn't it? You'd think so, right? But the question is, does it make him money? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Not yet. It's not making money. If it was making money, we'd be in a different situation now. Yeah. So what's happened? What's gone wrong? Well, what happened was that the project initially was launched at the peak of the previous bull market where everything was overvalued. Okay. And DTravel were able to utilize the increase in valuation to fund the growth of this real world network. And so even if you don't think, even though right now it's undervalued, you have to understand that the value that they extracted, or the project extracted, went into building this real world network. Yeah. And that is valuable. So there is value. The value's gone into this project. It's not gone into people's pockets. Well, maybe some, but welcome to crypto. The reality is that the value has gone into building this. It's a web-based app, and it allows you to book peer-to-peer accommodation, vacation rentals in different parts of the world, just like Airbnb, without Airbnb or without Booking.com or Expedia. So there is value. Now, okay, I'm looking at Lisbon now, aren't I? And there's only 22 results. Well, that's not good enough. Yeah. But that's not really the problem now, is it? The problem now isn't that we don't have enough properties, it's that we don't have the travelers. Because for whatever reasons that I've explained in the past, travelers are still preferring the other platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com. Yeah. So we haven't been able to break into that market, the traveler market. And so because we're not getting the travelers, the floodgates of the hosts hasn't come to grow our real world network. So what we've experienced in the last few years is the value that was obtained or increased has gone into building this product. Yeah. And that's the hard part. This was the hardest part. This was the most laborious part. Effectively, what this is a Shopify for hosts where people can have their own direct booking website, and it's plugged into so many different applications, like uplisting, like I use uplisting. These channel management software systems. So DTravel is plugged into these, or RentalWise, or some others, Hostly, or what's called HostAway. And that was the hard part, connecting it, and then this is all on chain, and then everyone has a website, and this you can pay using crypto, you can pay using fiat. This is the hard part, and it is working. And so it's obvious that it's working because you can see it's working. You can see that we are getting revenue. Yeah, when you go into the DTravel Telegram, you can see the network growing, new booking site activated, new booking processed, and that's just perpetual. That just keeps on going and going and going. You can see that. You can see that the network is working. New booking site activated, new booking processed, new booking site activated, etc. So it is working. This is the hard part. The hard part's been done. This is the most difficult part, was to create this real world network. And so even though the value that was extracted from the crypto market hasn't yet translated into TRVL, it hasn't gone anywhere except into DTravel's network. Now what's changing is that the leadership has changed, and the new CEO has a vision for bringing travelers. And what they're doing is they want to bring travelers, and they also want to translate the value from the real world growth into the token. So the token becomes essential or critical to the future of the project. And so if you've missed it, you can watch my videos. You should always watch my videos. And if you want to watch my videos, then go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll be well up to date with what's going on with DTravel, because I do DTravel every week. I've been doing it for over 2 years now. There's a playlist there, and I talk about, if you go to my playlist, new leadership, token burns, strategic pivot. I talk about all the changes, etc., etc. I try to be as balanced as possible. I am bullish. I am an investor. I don't work for DTravel, but I'm an investor. And so I am bullish. But I'm bullish not because I'm looking at the charts and going, this is bullish. I'm bullish because I'm looking at the fundamentals of the project, the innovation of the project, and also the people running the project. So that's what's changed. There's been a big shift, and the shift has been the new CEO. And if you missed it, then you should go and have a look at the blog. That was the new chapter post by Eric Pace. That was in November. And then after that, he made a post just for the community, and he announced it in Telegram. This was it. Is that the one? Oops. Is that the one? Don't know. No, that was the November one. Where did I go? Missed it. That's it. Nope. This is it. He created another post on this thing called Telegraph. Copy link. I'll paste it into chat so you can have a look at it yourselves. And I'll go and have a look at that on the website as well. So there was a main blog post, and then there was his Telegraph post. And here he's talking, he made this post on January 9th, and I've gone over these posts, and he's talking about travel. He's talking about the future of DTravel and how we're going to get to our destination. Our destination is taking over travel, effectively. And he's talking about something very interesting. It's about TRVL becoming a trust token. So you can go and read about that. You can go and watch my videos, and I talk about it a lot. So there's been, the value hasn't gone. Like, a lot of people are like saying, oh, I've lost all my money. And it does look like that. So if you are accumulating or buying TRVL anywhere really, it appears as though you're down. Yeah, but it's kind of, again, it's kind of like, is the price going up? Is the price going down? Who knows? It's 50-50. It could either go up, it could either go down. Yeah, and that's kind of how you should approach the markets. You could lose your money. Yeah, I think no one should be investing in a project not thinking that they can't lose their money. Just like you don't go into a casino and think you're going to walk out with money. You could lose it. Yeah, except the casino is weighted towards the house, and here you have to look at other factors. And when it comes to this token, everyone is underwater, but at the same time, the value hasn't gone into the pockets of scrupulous people who are now driving Lambos and sticking up their middle finger and saying, ha ha ha. It's gone into the project. It's gone into the real world network. It's taken time and it's taken effort. It's taken a lot of energy. It's cost money to build what we have now, which is very unique. Very unique. Where did it go again? Put it up again, which is this real world network. So it hasn't gone anywhere. It's there. It's just that now what Eric is doing is he wants to bring the travelers. He has a vision. He has this idea. I think it's going to work, and he believes it's going to work. That's more important. His belief in his own ideas, and the team are fully behind him. And at the moment, the community are supporting him. And we bring the travelers, and then everything else fits into place. So once that happens, we'll see a reflection in TRVL, because then TRVL, the idea of it becoming a trust token, a valuable token connected with this network, will start to increase in value. And so we'll start to see the fruits of our investments, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is going to be in profit. That requires some things to happen along the way. And so it's a journey, isn't it? The whole thing's a journey. And I've been part of the journey now for over 4.5 years now. And I'm still enthusiastic. I'm still confident that we're going to pull this off yet. And we are at the crux now, looking at the charts, which I like to do. It's just for fun, entertainment value only. Again, it's like a casino, isn't it? When you're kind of messing around with these micro caps, you can make a lot of money, but you can lose all your money, right? That's how it works. It's just a fact. Like, if you got to be really naive to think otherwise, yeah. But now we're at a really important stage where you could make a lot of money, yeah. This is potentially a turning point, and I explain why. It's like a roulette wheel. Red. It could be you could be betting black, and it could come red 20 times in a row, yeah. So what strategy do you use to beat the odds effectively? It's all about the strategy when it comes to accumulation, yeah. Do you go all in when the price is at here at 2.5 cents or 4 cents or whatever, or do you accumulate over a long period of time and you end up with an average price, an average position? So that requires people to be patient. It requires people to not be greedy. It requires people to keep on accumulating. So instead of looking at their USD stack, they're looking at their TRVL stack, their overall stack of TRVL. Eventually, this is going to bottom out. That's what we are betting, actually. We're betting that this is going to eventually bottom out. The project is going to succeed, and then it's up all the way to the moon. That's what we're looking for. Now, the reason why I'm really bullish is because we're seeing a lot of volume. You can see it. You can see, look at all this volume. For the duration of all the way up to June 25, look how low the volume was. It was flat. And then from July onwards, look at the volume. Look at that. It's a big increase in volume. Like it's 5, 6, 7 times increase in volume. So we've had a large increase in volume. Why have we had a larger increase in volume? Because the price is so low. Because the price is so low. People who wanted to leave have left. They've sold at a loss. It's a fact. You can see. But the other people have come in and they started to pick up TRVL, including me, because it's so cheap. At this price, $1,000, you can pick up like, I don't know, maybe 700,000-800,000 TRVL, maybe more, maybe nearly 1 million TRVL. That's a lot of TRVL when you consider that there's only a total supply of 1 billion, and there's only 454 million circulating. It's a lot of TRVL to accumulate with such a small USD value. So this is a real opportunity. It really is. It's a real opportunity, and if people are scared they'll lose all the rest of their money, well, you could, yeah. Just like any other crypto project, you could lose, but you could also make a lot of money. And this is the place. This is the place. Now, is it the time? Well, I've been talking about the time a lot, haven't I? And I kind of am looking at my other chart. When I look at the time, it's the MEXC chart, which has the original launch date. And I'll be looking at these fib times, and I kind of called the pivot the 3rd week of December on this 2.618, and then also I've been kind of contemplating this higher time frame WXY idea, and based on the WX pivot, we've got the pivot, a new pivot coming in the 1st week of February potentially to complete. This would be a completion of this WXY idea that I have. Because of the volume that's coming in at these prices, what's happened is that the value area has shifted. And if you see where we are now, this is on the MEXC chart. You can see the point of control is thereabouts where we are now. So that means most of the volume is coming in at these prices. And it's huge volume in comparison to 2 years ago. You see, when the price was kind of ranging between 2 cents and 9 cents, when you look at the volume, it's negligible. The price moved a lot, but there was no volume. Yeah, and that was one of the difficulties with the previous leadership. They weren't able to bring in volume. But what's happened now is the price comes so low, but there's still interest. Look at this volume. Look at that. That's a massive jump in volume. Massive. When I look at the volume on the combined chart and go to a higher time frame, like the monthly time frame, this month, the month of January 2026, we've had 1.78 billion TRVL worth of volume. That's a lot. If you think there's only 450 million in circulation, that's like, it's like 4 times the circulating amount of TRVL in volume just in this month. Just in this month. And the price has moved. It's gone down 37%. How much has the price moved down from when it opened? It's down 17%. So there's still some selling, but the volume is really big. Large volume. Last month it was 260 billion TRVL in volume, and then the drop which brought us here was 2.3 billion, 1.2 billion. It's a lot of volume. There's a lot of volume now in TRVL. If you think about the drop that broke us through 2 cents, it was only 123 million TRVL volume. So we're getting really heavy accumulation at these prices. So that was KuCoin. No, that was the combined chart. So let's go back to the oops. Let me just go to a different time frame now. So I'm kind of looking at the levels now, and this is what I was doing. I was just contemplating what's going on now. Well, Bitcoin has been dropping, yeah. And so I think what's happening is that this is kind of moving with Bitcoin. And if I was to kind of take a side-by-side comparison, with Bitcoin, you can see let's get rid of these lines. So look, it went up here. Look at TRVL went up and Bitcoin didn't even go up. It was going down. Went down, TRVL went up. Bitcoin went up, TRVL. It's kind of going up with Bitcoin, but it's... I don't know if it's leading or not. It looks like it's leading Bitcoin. We've kind of gone sideways. This is when we were really dropping here. There. Now that period Bitcoin had just dropped and then altcoins dumped. That was that. And now we're going sideways. And we're kind of going sideways. That's kind of what's happening now. Yeah. But because of the illiquid nature of the token, it moves quite a lot. I just think that we're in heavy accumulation right now, and I can't tell you if we're going to take the low or not. I don't know. No one knows. And so I think for most people, I think we just have to keep an eye on the project, go into the Telegram. I highly recommend that. Keep an eye on the Telegram, see what's happening. There's a few things about to be launched. They're about to soft launch this new travel app, I think at the beginning of February, for a official launch towards the end of February. And this is going to be big launches. These are real apps. These are like iPhone apps. And then also there's going to be some tokenomics, not tokenomics changes, but some measures to bring interest or to bring purpose to the token. I think Eric's been talking about that. So all you have to do is go and have a look at my previous videos and I talk about them. If you're interested about those changes, you can have a look at, which one is it? This one, new leadership, token burns, bullish outlook for TRVL. That's the video to watch 12 days ago. And this one as well, token burns, these last two. Right, that's basically my TRVL update. I'll keep it short for this week. I think what I would suggest, and it's none of his financial advice, is you need to have an accumulation strategy. And I always say, if you ever watch my videos, I say just dollar cost averaging. Yeah, so I mean, my TRVL stack over the last 4 years has gone up 5 times, 5x. My TRVL stack now. I didn't know we were going to come down to these prices. That's the truth. I had no idea. I always hoped and thought that maybe 2 cents would be the floor. But I see this whole thing as an opportunity to pick up more TRVL, because I do believe one day we're going to get back above 2 cents and above 9 cents, etc. I've marked off these white lines as key levels, horizontal levels that we need to reclaim. So at the moment, when I'm looking at the chart, forget about trend lines. So I'm going to hide that. Forget about trend lines. There's no trend at the moment. It's just a downtrend. You have key horizontal lines that the price has to recover, yeah, on a higher time frame, and you can clearly see them. This is whatever that is, 0.00214. Then we have to get back above 0.00052. Then we have to get back above 0.01. Then we have to get back above 0.02, 2 cents. So we have to get back above 1 cent. We have to get back above 2 cents. I think if people have a strategy to accumulate, then these are really good prices. I can't tell you if it's going to go lower. But if you're just waiting for something, waiting for a sign of strength, then it's this level here. This is the first level that we have to reclaim. It's 0.002. It's like 0.2 of a cent. It's, from the current price, it's 43% more expensive. that will be a shift. That will be a big change in what's happened here. And then we'll have the ability to go up to the next level, which would be 0.5 of a cent. Then we have to reclaim that. Then we have a chance to go up to a cent, effectively. We reclaim that, we can go up to 2 cents. And if we reclaim 2 cents, then we're going to the moon, effectively, because that would be reclaiming this previous range. That would be the biggest sign of strength, reclaiming 2 cents. Okay, reclaiming 2 cents and getting back above 9 cents. So if you can kind of conceptualize the future, when do we know that this is going to go to the moon? When is the moon shot? Yeah, because right now, anything that happens, it goes up 40%. You think, oh my God, is this it? Is this the bottom? Is this going now? Are we finally going to the moon? The reality is, what we actually need to do is the minute we get above 2 cents, that's going to be the massive sign of strength on a higher time frame. And to go to the moon, we have to get above 9 cents. Literally. Once we get above 9 cents, we're going to the moon. Yeah. Those are kind of like the two, but by then, I mean, you're not going to come in and buy at 9 cents when you can right now get a stupid price. And so that's what's happening now. People are accumulating. I think in the context of what's happening behind the scenes, DTravel and Eric Pace, the new CEO, and Bitcoin kind of putting in an accumulation pattern, possibly gold and Bitcoin, who knows, but possibly we're coming into an opportunity of a lifetime here. Not financial advice. And just kind of going on with the timings that I'm kind of following on Mexi, I think we are coming into something very interesting here. I'd like to see how that plays out. If we do put in a pivot on this new WXY idea I have in the first week of February, I don't know if we take out the low or not. We may take out the low and just one last all-time low for a explosive move. I'd like to see us get back into this range first, and then by the end of this bull, whatever this bull market is, I would like us to try and at least go for 2 cents. I don't know if we're just going to get back into 2 cents, to be honest with you. It depends on how we approach it. It depends on what happens in between, and it also depends on the app and whether it goes viral, how many users it picks up, etc. There's a lot of variables. Anyway, that's my short TRVL update. Until next week, have a wonderful weekend. And if you like this video, please like it on my YouTube. That'd be appreciated. Thank you.